AskReddit by Joe 1,111,666. What company would you like to go bankrupt? Ticketmaster. I know that some Swifties filed suit against Ticketmaster for the Taylor Swift debacle. Come on Swifties, I'm rooting for you to take them down. Amway and other MLMs in existence. They ruined a lot of lives by giving people the false hope of financial security, driving people into debt and eventually bankruptcy. They definitely need a taste of their own medicine. Shut them all down. Also, the destruction of their relationships, which is the most valuable thing people have. College Board. $25, edit, per test score, to send archived AP scores per college that they could have sent free. Actual scammers, and they require you to fax or mail your credit card information to request the scores, making the whole process even longer. The Church of Scientology. Aren't there countries that outright banned them? Whichever one runs those child beauty pageants. Fuck them. Frank Reynolds? At least he doesn't diddle kids, that's for sure. My former employer, just because it would be satisfying. Fuck that place. Deleted. Those payday loan companies. How does anybody sleep at night taking advantage of desperate people in such an insidious fashion? Edit. The question of the post was, what company would you like to see go bankrupt? The question wasn't, what good service would you like to see disappear? The companies operate in a manner that is predatory. I don't care about the payday loans themselves. To give another example, coffee is not the problem with Nestle. The problem with Nestle is Nestle. I'm from South Dakota. This state and a Supreme Court decision provided a loophole for those predatory companies to exist. Shameful. Ticketmaster. Lol, Patty Lupone just said fuck Ticketmaster, live on CNN. Ticket Bastard. And StubGrub. FIFA. Agreed. People really need to understand the massive influence that FIFA has in the governmental decisions of the developing world. Evil organization that steals from people in their moments of greatest need. Nestle bro, I like their products more or less, but I just want them to be sold to other companies or SMTH just so that their insane unethicality is stopped. Ah fuck Nestle. Pacific Gas and Electric. Fuck that company. Millions of Californians echo this in unison. Worth of a company that sells insulin HIAF. The worst part of this is the story behind the scientists who discovered it. Frederick Banting and his assistants refused to put their name on the patents, and sold the patent to the University of Toronto for only $1 because they wanted everyone who needed it to have access to it. They made a discovery that has saved countless lives, could have made a fortune, but gave it away for free for the good of society, only for Big Pharma to make billions off it. Nestle. Boycotting Nestle is tough. https://wyomingllcotourney.com/static/img/nestle-list.svg. Autism Speaks. Letters FNDACURF4AUTSM. I'm autistic and this company is just useless, and whoever started it knows nothing about the disorder itself. Predatory loan companies 35+% for a loan, crazy. Those should be illegal globally. They contribute to poverty like you wouldn't believe. A nice bankruptcy to bring their astronomical fees back down to within reason. I work in housing. Let's add Zillow. TurboTax. Yes, and since they bought Credit Karma, them too. Ticketmaster Elimination. Facebook Meter. After switching Finds, I couldn't get access to my FB or Insta anymore. I tried for about 2 weeks and then gave up on it. That was 2 years ago and I don't really miss it except for the birthday reminders of people I really care about, which is perhaps 10% of my friends. I get along really well without it, but it would be another case if I wouldn't have met my sub before this happened. Then I would have reactivated my account for sure, just to have another possibility of interaction with other single persons. Nestlé. Fuck Nestlé. I don't like Nestlé because they one time in the 60s or 70s sent PR workers dressed as nurses to countries in Africa and sold baby formula to mothers, and the cans of the formula would last just so long that the mothers would not be able to breastfeed their baby. As a result, many children died. Anything Kardashian on Jenner owned. Shein. Especially when they've been accused of using lead-based dyes in their clothes, super cheap sweatshops, and being the worst kind of fast fashion trash generators. Shein is terrible. All MLM companies. Verizon. I know there is some shady shit going on behind the scenes. LPT. Make one polite attempt to solve your problem with a Verizon customer service representative, who almost assuredly will spin you around and accomplish nothing. Then send a polite letter. Yes, a letter, paper, stamps, envelope, mailbox. Your parents can help you. Addressed directly to the president of Verizon at their corporate headquarters, politely explaining your original problem and the attempt you made to correct it. In about a month, you will get a call from a very polite blue ribbon professional customer service representative from Verizon who will already have solved your problem. All those payday loan places, taking advantage of people and making their situations worse. Wells Fargo. Sadly, they will get bailed by the government like in 2008. De Beers. Diamonds are the most boring excuse for a precious gem that there has ever been. At least they aren't a monopoly anymore. They control less than 30% of the diamond trade now. Whoever the hell owns the private prisons. JP Morgan Chase spending billions on single-family homes and pricing my generation out of home ownership forever. https://www.businessincida.com/jp-morgan-to-acquire-1-billion-of-family-rental-2022-11. They are spending $1 billion. Not acquiring billions of units. Not ideal, but definitely not shitty clickbait. I've worked at Nestle. I don't think people know everything that Nestle owns makes boycotting almost impossible. Even if you avoid the Nestle logo like the plague, they own most alternative products. The place is $250 per night. Add cleaning fees and it's $500. The cleaning fee is for the privilege of cleaning it yourself too, because they left a list of chores for you. Oh, you need to take all your garbage with you too. Is what happens when inhospitable people get into the hospitality business. United States Senators Special Interest Donors. Nestle. I wouldn't shed any tears if the cigarette makers went bust, employee considerations notwithstanding. If foodstuff manufacturers killed and damaged the health of their customers in the same way and degree, their CEOs would be arraigned before the courts. From the UK. Walmart. They took out life insurance on elderly employees and cashed the checks without anyone knowing for years. Deleted. The Kardashians. Facebook. Toxic brain polluter. I've never had dealings with them, only stayed in hotels during previous trips, but I've seen enough of their bullshit to want them to go down. I don't like how it incentivizes people to buy up houses, not for people to live in during a housing crisis, but for vacationers to stay in for a little bit at a time. I don't like how it fragments and destroys communities. Because there's houses that no one lives in. From what I've heard, places like Prague's old town are full of Arabs, and little to no locals because there's nowhere for them to be. I think it's even more deplorable than landlords buying up houses, just to rent them out. At least people get to live in a landlord's house. And for some people, renting is the best option for them. Heck, it's worse than some rich bastard buying up vacation homes. At least rich people aren't so common that they can decimate communities. BlackRock, Seed and Amp Co. McAfee, if that trash still considered a company. Stop spamming people email. Comcast. Kinda shocked that Comcast's Finity is this far down. What a nightmare that company is. Bolsonchiaga. News Corp. I had to scroll way too damn far to find this. Everything Murdoch owns or has once owned. About half the media organizations in the world going bankrupt would be a good thing. Intuit TurboTax. Ticketmaster. I feel like the elephant in the room here is Wagner. TikTok, it just steals people's data and they don't care. Any social media app you use is stealing your data and selling it. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or better said, the corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and all of its shell corporations. Ticketmaster.